So they caught Zach Taylor at the NFL Combine today, and they asked him about the T. Higgins situation, and they also asked him about the report of him potentially giving up play calling. And if you guys don't remember this report, there was a report that came out from an insider who said that in order to try to keep Brian Callahan on the team and keep him as the OC, Zach Taylor was considering giving up play calling on offense to potentially keep him. Well, this is what Coach Taylor had to say about the whole situation. Let's listen up.
Back for maybe at least another year.
Well, just again, how he goes about his work. Number one is something that I really respect, and I think all of our entire building respects. Number two, just the type of receiver he is: big body, great body control, tremendous speed down the field, but great body control to transition out of those breaks. And so again, he's one of the top receivers in this league, and we don't want that just walking out of the building. And so when you get an opportunity to whatever it is, put a tag on him and keep him in the building and let him play at least another season for us, I think that's critical.
And before we get into the second question, I will 100% agree with him. Everything T does shows why he's an elite level wide receiver. And it's outside of him just being a great athlete or a great player. It's his demeanor, how he is with the fans, how he is with every action he takes in his NFL pro football career. And we have seen a lot of players, especially when they get up to his level at wide receiver, who they don't handle themselves as well as he does. So that's number one. Number two, as he says, you can't just let him walk out the door. Well, that's pretty damn obvious. I'll say this is why all those people who said, oh yeah, we're going to let him walk in free agency. He's going to leave in free agency. Like, they were just stupid. There's no way we'd ever let him leave in free agency. That's absurd, I'll say. But, I do kind of get a little bit concerned, but I guess it's kind of just how you have to be, where it's like, because again, keep in mind, this is a business, this is a negotiation back and forth. So if coach comes out here and says, oh yeah, we're going to do whatever it takes to keep T. Higgins on this squad, he's not going anywhere, then that means T. Higgins' price tag just went up 10 times, right? So you need to keep that type of control, I will say, in the contract negotiations of saying, listen, man, we want you, we love you, but if you got to go, you got to go, So you have to have that type of control, I will say. And so I understand his perspective and how Duke Tobin also handled it, saying that, he is the best, we are at our best when we have T. Higgins. But if a trade scenario happens, he can't predict every situation that happens. So it's one of those, you got to keep your control of the business aspect of football. Sometimes can get annoying. But let's listen to the second part about him potentially giving up offensive control.
I think after the season, I don't remember which week, but I saw a tweet that Lab had said that he had heard that you were maybe considering giving up play calling. Was that accurate? Were you ever considering?
And keep in mind, Lap said this, okay? This is not like it's a random reporter or a rogue reporter. That's why when we reported it, or I reported on the channel, it has full credibility. This is someone who's inside of the Cincinnati Bengals. This is not someone who's on the outside who's hearing whispers, okay? Lap knows stuff. He hears stuff. He gets told stuff. And he got told that in order to try to keep Brian Callahan, Coach Taylor said he'd give up play calling on offense to try to keep him, which we're going to hear the answer.
Considering that?
No, I like the process we have going right now, and now it's a new challenge. With Dan stepping into that and Brad moving in the quarterback role, it's going to be good. It's going to challenge us. It's going to be a little bit different, but those guys are prepared, and specifically Dan. Dan's been ready for this for a long time now, and really turned down a lot of interviews last year to stay here. Not knowing if Brian would still be in the building or not, and then had a lot of opportunities this year, and so we were able, the timing really was perfect that Brian got the first job available before Dan could go get in the airplane and go some of these spots, and so we're fortunate. I can't wait to see what he can bring to the table for us.
I will say, right, I love Coach. I disagree. I disagree with the idea, as he said, that he likes how everything is going. I'm sure he does. I'm sure he likes how everything is going. But I think we can all agree that sometimes it's good. Change is good. Sometimes fixing things is good. And altering. Changing things are good. That's what I'm trying to say. I can't speak. Because, well, I do agree that I think Coach is a great play caller. I don't think he's perfect. And I think if we keep on that same trail of just keeping on the same exact philosophy, you know what they say about, insanity is doing the same thing on repeat and expecting a different result. That's insanity right there. That's insane. You're insane if you try to do that, right? So, I get it. I understand. As a coach, you want to have that power. You want to have that control that, you go out there, you create the game plan, you do everything. It just gets to a point where your OC kind of becomes like a puppet, where he's not really there to dictate or help how the game goes. He's more or less just there to smile and wave. As the Penguins of Madagascar would say, just smile and wave, boys. Just smile and wave. It becomes a problem. And I don't know how much control he's going to let Dan have, because it's not like Brian, who was with us for 5 years and was the longest tenured offense coordinator in the league. This is a brand new offense coordinator. Not like he doesn't have a history in the NFL or history as being an OC. It's a brand new offense coordinator from being upgraded from a quarterback coach. So it's not like he's going to command the respect of saying, hey, listen, I have done this in the league. I have a resume. I know what I'm doing. So I feel like there is more or less a chance for Coach to kind of take more over it and not let Dan have as much say so. That's what I'm concerned about. And Frank Pollock. You might say, "What? How does Frank have anything to do with this?" We're talking about he always has something to do with this. That is always a +1. You know what they say? PS, PSSSSS, PSSS. Yeah, PS. Follow Frank Pollock. But beside that, okay, that's beside the point. We all know that he needs to be fired. What I'm saying here, though, on a real note, though, is, yeah, this is what kind of scares me. And I feel like we shouldn't be in that mentality that Coach has right now, where it's like, I like how things are working. Because they're not working right now, right? We had offensive struggles last year, a lot of them. And if we don't fix that, you're going to have the same results. You can't do the same thing and expect different results. It just doesn't work like that. So we'll see how this year goes. But my guess is offensively, we're going to look very much the same, which is going to be interesting. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next one. Peace.